I spent years trying to build a complex training portal with Joomla at its core. Just to do something simple like display videos in an article, I strapped on an extra blog component, extended content editor, and much more. Then I discovered Astroid, and I had my eureka moment, realizing that bare bones Joomla articles combined with Astroid article type options were way more than enough for my requirements. In this tutorial, we are going to walk through some of these specific Astroid article type options. We already set the stage for much of the integration for these settings in the previous tutorial in this playlist. So if you missed it or are feeling confused, you can check it out as well. Let's start by looking at article type options, as in some of the extra functionality that Astroid brings to the table. These functions work on an article by article basis. In our Joomla backend, we navigate to Content, Articles, and search for the Vintage Blogs article. Making sure we are in the Article Type Options tab, we note the options that we have. A regular is pretty much what it says it is, essentially a regular Joomla article without any extra functionality. In my pre-Astroid days, straight out of the gate, I would have hit a wall with regular Joomla articles and quickly gone down the Joomla extensions directory rabbit hole. However, back to the task at hand. Let's now have a look at some of the extra options that we have baked into Joomla thanks to the Astroid framework. We are going to work our way through a couple of examples of article types, culminating in my own personal favorite, the video type. First out of the gate, a regular is just the run-of-the-mill standard no-frills Joomla article, so no surprises here. Clicking through the other options, we see that by switching the article type, we can add more options to any given article. For example, by selecting video, we can add videos linked from YouTube, Vimeo, or even a server of our choice. Gallery lets us set up a slideshow. Audio gives us options to insert SoundCloud or Spotify sources into our blog post. Review gives us all kinds of options for setting up criteria for a simple review. And lastly, quote means that we can add quotes to an article. I guess that it goes without saying, but you have to choose what type of article you want to use, and you cannot mix and match these options. Let's not forget the Humble Content tab that obviously works out of the box with any regular Joomla blog article. Navigating to Content Articles, we have lots of examples knocking around here, such as Vintage Blogs or Study Stress. The bottom line is that regardless of whether or not we are using extra Astroid type options, we usually input standard blog text into our articles, exactly as we would if we did not have Astroid installed. Moving over to the Images and Links tab, this is where, as a rule, we can insert intro thumbnails for our blog posts. The Study Stress blog post is a good example of how this rule works. In this scenario, we have the Astroid video article type selected in the Article Type Options tab, and we have a thumbnail inserted here in the Joomla intro image section. On the other hand, the Christmas card blog post is an exception to the intro thumbnail rule. In this scenario, we have the Astroid Gallery article type selected in the Article Type Options tab. There is no thumbnail intro image in the Images and Links tab. The thumbnail we are seeing in the front end is in fact being pulled from the first slide in the Gallery Article Type Options tab. As a matter of interest, we could turn the thumbnail off here and or add a thumbnail in the standard Joomla Images and Links tab. As always, we have many options at our fingertips. A brief word about Open Graph. This is where we can insert images specifically designed for sharing on social media. Again, an example of one of those tiny little extras that comes baked into Astroid that can be really handy to have in our toolkit. Next up, we are going to have a more detailed look at a couple of specific article type options. Moving to the article type options tab, we see that the article type gallery is selected. We have some gallery options, most of which are pretty self-explanatory, such as show bullets and show navigation and show thumbnail. Specifically in the gallery items section, we notice that there are 3 images set up which obviously relate to our slideshow. As covered previously, one of these images can be used as a thumbnail for the gallery blog post on the blog listings page. By clicking the little plus or minus buttons, we can add or remove images for our slideshow. Apart from this, everything is pretty straightforward, with settings such as position for the slideshow, such as above title, or before or after content, as in our Joomla article content, which we can enter in the Content tab. And of course, right down here at the bottom, we have article badge options, which are not to be confused with article type icon options. Next up, we're going to look at some use cases for article badges versus article type icons. In the front end, let's make sure that we are on the blog listings page. In the back end, let's switch on badges for our current article and set a standard badge such as trending. Save and refresh and eyeball the front end. We note that the thumbnail for our Christmas card article has a second label. At the top right of the thumbnail, we see the article's type icon, which has in this case a gallery icon. And at the top left of the thumbnail, we now have our badge icon, which we set to trending. We can usually add an article type icon and an article badge, even setting up a custom badge if we want. Whilst the article Boost Your Confidence, which is a regular article, does not have an article type icon, we can still add a badge label. For example, we could select a badge or even make our own custom badge, such as I already did here. Astroid rocks, assigning a color for good measure. Continuing the article type icon theme, let's switch to the study stress article in the back end and make sure that we are looking at the article listings page in the front end. We note the blue articles icon with a V in the middle of it, as in V for Vimeo. In the back end, let's switch out the Vimeo video with a YouTube video and make sure that we have YouTube selected in the video type section. Save and refresh and check out the front end. We note that the article type icon has changed to something that very obviously hints at a YouTube video. We have similar options in the audio tab when switching out the audio source with SoundCloud or Spotify sources, meaning that depending on the exact source displayed in some article types, the article type icon may change. But I digress. Back to the video article option type. I do not actually have it here as my Astroid version is a little out of date, but these days you can also add a video from a server of your choice. Now this means that you are completely free to figure out how and where to host your videos. In my case, for example, back in the day, I used to have a Vimeo Pro account just so that I could select the options, set my videos as private, and allow embedding only on a specific site of choice, which is something that I always found kind of absurd. In my opinion, being able to pick and mix article types and badge labels can be a very powerful combination indeed. Throw being able to embed videos from a source of your choice into the mix, not to mention powerful layout and formatting options, and the possibilities are endless. Speaking of layout options, these days Astroid has a brand new article layout builder, which can help you set up, for example, a template for video articles, or any article type for that matter. I plan on covering the article layout builder at some point in a future playlist. If you made it this far and have not liked or subscribed, please do so, as it is free for you and really helps us out here. We are going to break here, and in the next tutorial in this deep dive boilerplate template series, I'm going to attempt to wrap all of this up, this whole article excursion thing, by looking at some of the settings in the Astroid admin area.